Hi there! Welcome to another episode of Galaxy Gardens. My name is Chrissy and today we're going to be talking about the new year. Now this is usually a time where people make New Year's resolutions and we just don't do that in this household. So I'm going to be outside. I got my double flannel going. It's going to be nice and toasty. I already went and grabbed my eggs for the day, so we're good to go. We got 3 today. RSA Browns keep laying. They're doing a great job. So come with me, let's talk about it some more. I got the girls here with me. They're hanging out. I don't mind if they go by our deck as long as I'm with them. So let's talk about New Year's resolutions. So we don't make them. I really think that the most conscientious way to make a change in your life is to just start including new things into your life habits. I think that when you try to forcibly restrict yourself from something, you will end up binging in some way. That could be anything. That could be drugs, alcohol, TV, food, whatever. But when you add things into your daily habits, sometimes they'll push other things out of the way. And those other things that maybe they're not the best habits for you start to become less and less of a priority in your life. So we don't have any New Year's resolutions for this year, but there are things that we're just planning on doing. So one of those things is continuing to make videos. One of those things is to keep preserving food and to preserve more food as we go. And, there's things we want to do outside of homesteading as well that are just things that we're going to do. And that's how we're thinking about it. And that's how we're going to do it. When you think about what you want to do when a new year comes around, it's easy to make big holidays a time to make big decisions. And that puts a lot of weight into those decisions that you're making, right? Which can be really daunting. So the things that you're planning to do, how are you going to do it? What are your steps to get there? When are you going to sit down and write down what those steps are? Is it something realistic? Is it something that you want to start and maybe finish in a few years? Or is it something you need instant gratification from? I'll tell you everything that we have planned, we know the steps for, and we're ready for it. So it's just a matter of keeping the consistency we have going. So I don't believe in New Year's resolutions, because a lot of times the things that you're resolute about tend to come before the new year. And they'll be there after the new year. And if you've been thinking about it, why not just do it now? Right, Bertha? So with that being said, coming into the new year, I think that fear-based actions like panicking, that you need to do everything right now, it can serve as a motivator, but that's a short-term motivator and it's non-lasting and contributing so that there's more and more fear that goes into the things that you want to do. You're going to burn yourself out. What things bring you joy? What do you want to do? That motivation comes from somewhere that's balanced and somewhere where you can act on it and you're not waiting for that motivation to hit you, and you don't have to move within fear. So think about that when you're thinking of this new year. Even with what we're doing, we're considering moving to meat birds. We don't know if we're quite ready for that yet, but this would be the time to order them. But we have these hens right now, and we're responsible for them, and making sure our responsibilities are taken care of is a priority. And that is one of those things that's important to us. We have all this garden space. That is a responsibility. Once you garden, that's a responsibility. And making sure these hens are happy and taken care of and living good lives, that brings me joy. That makes doing hard work easier. But we also get the reward. I just counted up all the eggs we got from them. So they started laying July 14th, 2021. So I counted the eggs we gathered from there till December 31st. We had 638 eggs. What a good reward for taking care of these girls. And now they're hanging out with me because I have some grubs. But they're real cool, man. And their responsibility. If you're thinking of getting animals, first of all, check out your zoning and what you're allowed to have. Because there'd be nothing worse than to have something like this set up and then the town stops by and is like, hey, that's illegal here, what are you doing? And then you gotta get rid of them. But consider how much work it's gonna go into something, and if you can be consistent. Usually when you break things down into smaller portions and you just focus on working on those smaller portions, they end up making something that's more valuable than the sum of all the parts combined. And that's how you make progress in your life, in your goals, and in your plans. And I think that's more valuable than making vapid New Year's resolutions. I'll be fair though. If you're starting out at the beginning of the year and you're like, you know what? I don't like the way I'm living. Need to do some changes. Making a list of things you want to change is a really good place to start. It doesn't have to be realistic. And sometimes coming up with unrealistic things can help you be more creative with your realistic goals and help you narrow it down. But I hope the list isn't where you stop. I hope you continue and you break them down and you make a plan. And then from there, the hardest part is being consistent. And if you're not consistent, be honest with yourself. And think about what could make you more consistent. Maybe that goal needs to change. Maybe your timeline needs to change. So, all good things come with consistency. I think we've come full circle here. Now the girls have gotten a chance to run outside for the day. We got some grubs. My only plan for them is to keep them alive and keep them laying. Now we're not going to get any more laying hens this year. 6 is definitely our limit for how many eggs we need and how much space we have for them. But at the end of next year, there'll be about 1.5 years, going on 2 years. So maybe spring 2023 we might start getting some more chicks. So we have a layover. But honestly, as these girls get older and start laying less, that would work just fine for us because we really don't eat that many eggs. We like having our chicken friends around and we like having the eggs. But So these girls will be with us. Those are the only girls in the yard for the next year. Alright, decided to come back inside. I'm actually quite toasty out there. This is real flannel. This isn't just like stylish flannel. And this is very thick. But my face is getting cold. So listen, just in summary, you know, as long as you can figure out what you want, and if you don't know what you want, that's okay. There are people who can help you with that, friends, family, strangers on the internet. You can hire professional services just to talk it out, because sometimes not knowing what you want can be really scary. But when you know what you want, you really know what you want. And you know, your life habits and your lifestyle is going to follow suit. And those changes will happen accordingly. You know, there's ways that we like to live our life, which is slower. We've lived a very fast-paced life before, and we don't like that. I mean, we just went to the city last weekend, and you know, it was nice to visit. It's not somewhere we're gonna move, especially if you're thinking of going to Boston. Just know there's like more and more people moving there all the time, so you're just gonna sit in traffic all the time. But you know, we decided to live a slower lifestyle. We like to keep our major life events at least one at a time if possible, and you know, we understand even that in itself is a huge luxury that other people sometimes don't get. And you know, when you have a lot of major life events going on at the same time, that is so disorienting and scary, and can make it hard to slow down enough to think about what kind of habits you want to make in your life. That's my thoughts on that. I really do wish everyone a happy new year, a happy 2022. We're gonna see what happens and what comes from it. I think we can all agree that we're happy with 2021 being done and gone. And you know, I know what 2022 is gonna bring for me at a minimum: food, vegetables, eggs, because I have all my seeds and we built our raised beds and we have our hens. At a minimum, we will be fed. Outside of that, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I have some plans in the works for myself that I'll share with you soon. But outside of that, you know, keep living your life. If you're really not happy about something, or maybe something is in direct conflict with your personal values, just don't live with it. Do something about it, because sometimes doing something about it and existing within a place where you don't know what's going to happen for a short while, sometimes that can bring you to even better things to come in the future. But that takes planning. So I hope everyone has a great first week of 2022. We'll see you next week. For this month, we have some more brewing videos coming, and come towards the end of the month, we're actually going to get some seeds going for the year. So I hope you take care, and we'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, I completely forgot to mention it before. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, or Venmo, we have all the same handle for those. It's at the Galaxy Gardens. We don't have a Venmo. I'm not begging for money. But, you know, if you're someone who likes to show thanks and appreciation for what we do by like sharing our stuff with your friends, subscribing, liking our videos, I definitely appreciate it a lot. But if you're someone where you're just like, no, we need to do more than that, go on Venmo, send us a tip. We don't care. Send us $1, send us 50 cents. We'll appreciate it. All that money is just going straight back into our homestead stuff, not for us. We have jobs outside of this. This is our side gig. But we have some more stuff coming. I'm working on a website right now, but I should probably make a link tree for like all our stuff. Anyways, at the Galaxy Gardens, go ahead, check out our stuff, and I'll see you.